Now, in Mark, the fourth thing he said, these aren't going to be all sequentially, but the fourth thing that he said was, let us go somewhere else. He'd been preaching in this particular town for a little while. He said, let us go somewhere else to the nearby villages so I can preach there also. That is why I have come. Jesus came to preach this good news and let people know that the kingdom of heaven is near. The kingdom of God is right here. It is ready for you to participate in whenever you want to give your attention to that. All right? If you want to give your attention to the world and all these material things and be concerned with that, you can keep doing that. But he knew at the time for the people of Israel, apparently, the Jews, it wasn't working very well. And I think he needed to come and explain that to them then, and he needs to explain it now because we've gone way off course of what he was preaching 2,000 years ago. If you look at that instance in Luke, it's in chapter 4, and he says, I must proclaim the good news of the kingdom of God to the other towns also, because that is why I was sent. That's what it says right there. That is why I was sent. That is why I have come. Now, most folks, Christians anyway, have really, again, listened to Paul, and they have crafted their theology around Paul and Paul's very limited understanding of what Jesus preached. Because the fact of the matter is that Paul and I have exactly the same amount of face time with Jesus Christ. Exactly the same amount. I have heard Jesus speak just as many times as Paul had. None. Okay? And so I think Paul missed out on a bit, and I don't think it's very wise to venerate him the way that the Christian church has. And drawing from Paul's horrible misunderstandings and guilt over being a persecutor before Jesus kindly asked him to stop, he has created this worldview which is now just totally accepted in Christianity, that we are all completely and utterly separated from God, and God cannot even be in our presence because we are so vile and reprehensible and sinful, and every single member brought of the Homo sapien species must be cast into eternal fire unless they believe the story about Jesus coming to the earth, dying, being resurrected, and all of that. And unless everyone believes that, we're all cursed to be sent into hell. So I have a lot of questions about this. I have a lot of issues with this story that has been told through Christianity and what has come up to this modern American Christianity that feels they are so right about everything. And I have some issues with that. All right, so